Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kraftgali channel. We are going to have so much fun today and do a lot of different kind of coloring. So we are going to be using Altenew's Big Bold die set and Prima Marketing's flower set here. So I am going to stamp this out 2 different times on 2 different sheets of paper because, as you probably saw from the thumbnail, we're going to be doing a colored piece and then I guess I would say black and white piece. So I'm going to stamp it out in both Memento and VersaFine because I'm going to be using 2 different mediums. So I'm going to be using watercoloring with the VersaFine, and then alcohol markers for the Memento. So another thing to note here as I heat emboss this to get a clear heat embossing over it is you want to make sure you're using the right paper for the right medium as well. So Bristol Smooth for the watercoloring right here, and then later on I use Neenah 80 pound cardstock for the alcohol markers. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to use some Real Brush watercolor markers. So I'm using a dark purple and then more of a pinkish purple, and I'm going to blend those 2 together right there where I want it shaded, and then I'm going to take a water brush and just pull it out. To me, this is the absolute easiest way to get dimension, to get shading. It's so simple. Just watch what I'm doing here. 1 color, 2 color, water brush, boom. That's it. So I'm going to do all of my coloring here. I have to tell you, I did have a little bit of a difficulty choosing what colors to do besides this purple because I wanted them to all complement each other. So I tried to keep the coloring in more of like a pink and purple family, although there were different hues and shades of all of those things. So these 2 colors are probably the most prominent color. Sometimes I used just the pinkish color and sometimes I used just the purple color. So I'm not going to show you absolutely every bit of coloring here. You can actually skip ahead too if you wanted to, just to get to more of how to make the card, because I wanted this card to also highlight what we're doing with the dies in this video, and that was really important to me to not make it too long. So you can see I'm going through, I'm kind of going to show you some of the basic colors that I put down, again not the entire card. So there you see me put down some pinks. I'm going to go back and mix a little bit of purple in there, and then I'm going to show you how I did the greens. So again, a dark green to outline, to give that shading, a light green to pull that out, and then the water brush all the way out to the end of the image. Again, you get shading, you get dimension, and it's so easy to do. So I would highly recommend, if you've been intimidated by water brush markers or any kind of watercoloring, please don't be. You can pull out some Crayolas and have fun with this as well. Okay, so then I'm going to show you right here. I outlined the images in a light blue and then pulled that out to fade it out a little bit, and that just gives a little bit more added funk to the card. So I really like the way that looks. It just makes it a little bit more lively. So once I get that the way I like it, I am going to dry it because I want to make sure that it's ready for the next piece. So I'm going to put that away, and these are the markers that I'm going to be using. I used warm grays for this part. And the idea behind this card is I want the pop of color to match exactly what's above so basically to match both of the pictures exactly, but the top one would be more of a antique looking black and white, and the dies would be the colorful bold. Now I have to tell you, as I'm doing this, I really ended up liking this antique old looking gray, black and white. I really thought that looked fun. I also really liked the colorful piece that I did. So hindsight, I might have actually made 2 cards instead of the 1, but we're going to go with it because I really love this technique. I'm laying out my love die, so LOVE, onto my panel using my ruler to keep it straight. And now I'm going to do partial die cutting. See how I didn't cover the entire die with my top plate? I went right to the line where I wanted it to stop. So then when I take that off, I'm going to remove my purple tape here, and the LOVE is not going to come out of the image. I'm going to score at the very bottom of each letter so that it makes it easy for me to bend without cracking the paper. That's why I'm going to do that. So once I get that all scored up, I'm going to be able to show you how each of those letters just pops right up. I also would like to try this technique, die cutting it so that the letters pop up, because I think people hold the card that way and it would be a little bit easier to read. So either way though, I think it looks nice. Now I'm going to put the inner portion of the O and the E back on the paper so that everything matches perfectly. I'm going to cut both panels down because I have the colored one behind it with a stitched rectangle die. And now you can see how the LOVE pops up. Working on my sentiment here, I'm going to take those two colors again and I'm going to blend them out and take the water brush and blend it all the way down. I wanted this all to match and just complement each other. I am going to dry it because I'm going to heat emboss on it. So once that's done, I spared you some of the extra bits and pieces. I'm just going to heat set that with my heat gun. So now I'm going to cut down the sentiment into every good day. So I want to make sure I'm not, didn't want to cut my stamp. I'm not a huge fan of that unless I have to, even though it really doesn't do anything to the stamp. But I just cut it down with my paper trimmer. I'm going to place this on top. Make sure that you do not put any glue on the back of your letters. You got to be very careful with that because that would defeat the entire purpose of what we're doing. I'm going to pop up my sentiment here with a little bit of foam tape and try to find the placement. I think down here looks good, and I'm just going to place that down. Now I do off camera put down some sequins in purple, pink, and white, and that will add a lot of fun and color to that card. Then I'm going to place it down with some strong score tape, and you can see here that that finishes up this card. Hopefully you like this technique. I'm going to bring you into some still photos here, and it'll be something that you'll want to try. I think it adds an extra layer of flair to our card making, and it was a lot of fun for me to do. It is a very busy card, so that is one thing that I noticed. I would like to try this out again with a couple different techniques, maybe some blankness in the back instead of all of that color. So thank you so much for joining us over here at the Kraftgali channel. Don't forget to head over to the shop so you can get these supplies that I used. Hit subscribe in the upper left-hand corner, and here's some more videos in the lower right-hand corner for you to watch. Until we see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.